Slick.
Wait till that motherfucker start hitting that body.
Yeah.
Alvarez hit that motherfucker body.
Look how slick. Mike, look how slick he is.
Oh, he's gonna get
in August of 2024 against Israel Madrimov to make him a 4-division champion. That's it. That's all. He hasn't fought since then.
Look, with Crawford, I think gaining too much weight and too much muscle might affect them. If they're thinking of surviving and being able to take a punch and being able to go rounds.
Mike Tyson warned Terence Crawford after appearing with Canelo Alvarez at the press conference, saying Crawford is too small to fight him. Tyson believes Crawford has almost no chance of beating the Mexican champion and feels fans aren't very excited about this matchup. His comments added more heat to the pre-fight buzz.
That Terence Crawford is simply too small and doesn't have a chance to beat Canelo Alvarez. I am Mike Tyson. He says that this is a fight that nobody calls for. It's just simply too much of a size difference. Shannon Briggs is the believer in styles make fights, skill set, and the skill set of Canelo Alvarez versus the skill set of Terence Crawford favors the skill set of Terence Crawford, not only just to win, but to possibly stop Canelo Alvarez for the first time in his career. Now, Canelo Alvarez is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Terence Crawford is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Terence Crawford is 4-division champion, undefeated, 2-division undisputed champion. Canelo Alvarez is a 4-division champion, 2-time undisputed super middleweight champion, and reigning undisputed super middleweight world champion with a record of 63 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 wins by way of knockout.
Gabe Rosado, a well-known boxing veteran, gave his view on a possible fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. Rosado feels Crawford doesn't have the power to really hurt Canelo. He admitted Crawford has sharp skills, movement, and accuracy, but said those might not be enough against someone as strong and durable as Canelo. Rosado pointed out that Canelo has taken shots from some of the hardest punchers in boxing without breaking, which makes him doubt Crawford's chances of causing damage.
So I don't see how Crawford could hurt Canelo, because Canelo's been in there with Kovalev. He's been in there with Bivol. You know what I'm saying? He's been in there with big punchers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how can a guy that's really a 47-pounder, even though he's up in weight, I don't see how he can hurt Canelo. You know what I'm saying? It just feels completely, because your body is different to absorbing a bigger blow. So, you know what I'm saying? But it's like when I sparred the guys in the lower weight classes and they hit me, bro, it's like, no disrespect, but it just feels like you get hit with a pillow. It's just different. It could be a murderous puncher at 147, but if I'm walking around 185 and I'm a solid guy and I'm used to fighting guys, you know, with a different kind of power, and I spar a guy that's a welterweight, it feels like a pillow.
Boxing commentator Showbiz shared a clear opinion on the fight, saying he doesn't believe Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez. He based this on the big differences in size, strength, and style. Showbiz explained that Canelo's experience against top fighters in many weight classes has given him the tools to shut down boxers like Crawford. While he admitted Crawford is smart, skilled, and adaptable, Showbiz argued that won't be enough to deal with Canelo's power and control in the ring. In his view, the fight heavily favors Canelo, and Crawford...
Spaceman Films. What up, Biz? Who you got? Canelo Crawford?
Yeah.
Got Canelo. I heard the punches that he hit Charlo with. I don't know if Crawford can absorb those punches. I know he's a great man and a great warrior. But you come from 147 to put on a better fight than Charlo. I mean, I don't even know what that means. I don't know if that means that Crawford is so great and he can do that, or that means that Charlo set the bar so damn low that anybody could do better than Charlo did last night.
Do skill really pay the bill? Because that would be tested.
Pay the bill. That's why Canelo's skillful too.
Renowned trainer Robert Garcia voiced concerns about Crawford putting on a lot of weight to face Canelo. Garcia explained that gaining weight too quickly can affect a fighter's speed, stamina, and sharpness in the ring. He warned that the extra size might slow Crawford down and weaken his biggest advantage, his quickness. Garcia also addressed comparisons to Floyd Mayweather, saying they are not accurate. He pointed out that Mayweather never bulked up this way to fight bigger opponents, and his success came from speed and skill, not size. For Garcia, moving up to a much higher...
Look, with Crawford, I think gaining too much weight and too much muscle might affect them if they're thinking of surviving and being able to take a punch and being able to go rounds, then they're trying to maybe go the distance and they'll be happy with that. But I think Crawford's natural talent, Mayweather had it. You know, you guys were just mentioning right now that he doesn't. Crawford Mayweather never needed to gain weight and never needed to be heavy to be able to beat those bigger guys. I think Crawford's skills. We give Crawford a chance because we know how good he is, how his skills, his speed, his combinations. But if he's gaining so much weight, he might not be able to do those. He might not be able to have those same skills when it comes to his speed, his footwork because of the weight. So we'll see. I just hope he's not just training and getting big to survive and go the distance, because maybe that's a win for him. Maybe he's thinking, if I go the distance with him, that's a big win for me. So I just hope not. I expect Crawford to actually pull up some runs and maybe even pull up the fight. But if he's too heavy, too big, he's gonna get hit, and he's gonna have to exchange punches, and that's where the danger comes in.
Gary Antoine gave strong praise to Canelo Alvarez's control of his boxing style. He said Canelo fully understands his strengths and knows how to use them in every fight. In Antoine's view, Crawford cannot simply undo what Canelo has developed over years at the top. From slick head movement to well-timed counters and body shots, Canelo's skills have been sharpened against elite opponents. Antoine admitted Crawford is smart and adaptable, but stressed that Canelo's ability to impose his style makes him...
Canelo, he has mastered his style. Now, typically, Latinos, they got their own style versus melanated black people. Having like more rhythm, more flashiness and panache to their stuff, more swag.
Yeah.
We just fight different than other ethnicities. If you want to throw Amir Khan in there, his ethnicity, he was in and out.
Yeah, that's the European kind of style.
Textbook, but that was his style. Canelo got his style and he mastered it. Terence Crawford cannot take nothing away from him. He's like freakishly good, he go both sides, southpaw, orthodox, and I feel like he adapt well. But it don't take much to get hit, especially these little 8-ounce gloves. He cannot slip up. He cannot slip up. He gonna have to stay set from bing to bing from round 1 to 12, and he better be in shape. I'm talking about like not 12-round shape. I'm talking about like 16-round shape.
Former world champion Chris Algieri explained the difficulties fighters face when moving up in weight. He said adding size changes how a boxer feels in the ring, affecting timing, movement, and stamina. Algieri noted that even if Crawford looks bigger on fight night, the extra weight won't necessarily give him more strength or power. He stressed that fighting at an unfamiliar weight is tough, especially against someone already used to that size. In Algieri's view, Crawford's skills remain world-class, but adjusting to a
Alvarez. So that's another aspect of that comparison. And yes, to exactly what the champ said, exactly what Abel Sanchez said, you're going to put on weight, you're going to be a different fighter. And I can say this even as a fighter as myself, as I've gotten heavier in my retirement, I try and move around the gym, it just feels different. And even when you start camp, you feel different in the beginning than you do at the end. But listen, we're still 4 or 5 weeks away. I don't know exactly what Terence is weighing right now. And even if he does say what he weighs, man, he's gone out there and said he's weighed, all types of crazy numbers just to get media to respond. So it's really not really going to know until the fight and we see these guys next to each other. He might look bigger right now, but he might not be that heavy. He might still be in the range that these guys are targeting for the fight itself. But I will say this, if you look at it historically, Floyd Mayweather, when he fought Canelo Alvarez, Floyd was 36 years old. Canelo was a young man. I think he was 21 or something like that, or 23, under 23, whatever the case may be. Floyd came in how Floyd always comes in. He didn't try to put on weight for that fight. I think he came in 150 pounds, like he always did in his big fights, and even at 36 years old. And it was his speed, it was his technical proficiency, it was his skill and his jab, which is what gave Canelo fits all night long and eventually why he lost 11 rounds to 1. So I don't know that Crawford really needs to be packing on this muscle. And I have actually argued in my own head. I'm like, yeah, but he's older. He's not Floyd. Floyd was 36 when they fought.
A boxing analyst firmly stated that Canelo Alvarez will not lose to Terence Crawford. The reason was clear. Crawford cannot hurt Canelo, and without the power to earn his respect, the fight becomes very tough. The analyst added that Crawford is unlikely to handle Canelo's heavy punches for 12 rounds because of the big physical difference. With Canelo's strong chin, punching power, and control of distance, Crawford may struggle to keep up steady offense. While respecting Crawford's accomplishments, the analyst confidently predicted
before Paddy was on the undefeated phenom. He said that he sparred Canelo Alvarez, and he hit Canelo Alvarez with his best shot. His best shot. This is a power puncher. Yeah, he's smaller than Canelo Alvarez, but let me further explain. Canelo Alvarez didn't feel nothing. Nothing. And some of y'all gonna be like, but yo, that's Virgil Ortiz, he's smaller. Canelo Alvarez didn't feel nothing with Triple G. Canelo Alvarez didn't feel nothing versus Kovalev. Kovalev killed the man in the ring. Canelo Alvarez didn't feel nothing with Daniel Jacobs. Canelo Alvarez wasn't even demoralized by Dimitri Bivol. He just got outboxed. He didn't hurt Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez, you see how we say Iron Mike Tyson? Well, Canelo Alvarez has an iron chin. Terence Crawford. And also, put it this way, also, after the fight with Jermell Charlo and Canelo Alvarez, and I spoke to Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo basically said that, yo, Canelo Alvarez couldn't feel my punches. I hit Canelo Alvarez with 2 left hooks and he didn't even feel nothing. Jermell Charlo was Iron Man Jermell Charlo. The 154-pound undisputed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's not active right now, but we all know he was an undisputed, a knockout artist that got all his belt by knocking out every opponent to become undisputed, ladies and gentlemen. Canelo Alvarez has gotten hit with the most devastating punches in his generation, 175 and 160. Fought the likes of Kirkland that was known for power.
Willie D., the former boxer and commentator, gave a detailed breakdown of the matchup. He pointed out that Canelo Alvarez is younger than Terence Crawford, which can play a big role in boxing. Willie D. also noted Canelo's height advantage, which could let him control the distance and dictate the pace. He explained that age and size are more than just numbers, as they affect reflexes, recovery, and the ability to take punches. His analysis showed that Crawford would face several disadvantages.
It's 34. Bud is 37. So you give that edge to Canelo, because in boxing, youth is a commodity. Height. Canelo is 5 feet 7.5 inches tall. Terence Crawford is 5 feet 8 inches tall. So you give the slight edge to Terence Crawford right there. The reach. Canelo is 70.5 inches tall. Terence Crawford is 74 inches tall, which gives him an almost 4-inch reach advantage. Their weight, Canelo is a middleweight and Bud is a lightweight middleweight. Records. Canelo is 63-2-2, 39 knockouts. Bud is 41-0 with 31 knockouts. Canelo's last fight was a victory over William Skull. It was a unanimous decision on May 3rd, 2025. Bud last entered the ring on August 3rd, 2024, where he defeated Israel Madrimov.
John Ryder, who has fought Canelo Alvarez, shared an honest view of how a matchup with Terence Crawford could go. From his own experience, Ryder said Canelo's style is built on steady, calculated pressure that wears opponents down both physically and mentally. He explained that Canelo's strength isn't just in his power, but in his ability to maintain a relentless pace while controlling the rhythm of the fight. Ryder noted that even skilled and determined fighters struggle when every exchange becomes a test of stamina and toughness. In his opinion, Crawford's sharp skills and strong spirit may not be enough to withstand that pressure over a full championship fight. Ryder concluded that Canelo's...
I think you just got to watch the Bivol blueprint, the in and out. I mean, a lot of fighters getting stick now for being runners, Tom and Jerry and whatnot. But stick to what you're good at. Terence Crawford is an exceptional talent. He's won titles through the weights, undisputed at, what was it, 3 weights now. And listen, if anyone can do it, it's him. I think the weight will be too much of an issue. Canelo is a special talent, and I think the weight will play a factor in the fight. But listen, Canelo once done it and made the step up to super middleweight. I would like Crawford to be more at light middle and middle to build into it, but you take these opportunities when they come, and that's what greatness is, chasing it.
Yeah, and I've heard that before. Like you know, some people said if you see him at 154, he fought a Madrimov, and you saw how much he got touched. Obviously, it's 2 different fighters. But why do you think he should probably? You think he should have probably taken another fight, maybe at 160 or maybe another one at 168?
You need to build into it a bit. I think the fight with Madrimov was his first fight at
154.
At 154, and listen, he's still developing and growing into that weight. You could have done him with a couple more there, then moved up to 160, but it's all being done as a bit of a rush. So he's not going to be fully. He's not going to have time to put the muscle on to build into the weight, and he's obviously going to do it with the intention of getting back down to 154 and taking on other challenges. So it's not a long-term goal for him to stay there, but like I say, Terence Crawford is an exceptional talent. I'm watching him beat a good friend of mine, Ricky Burns, and it's like since that day I was just, my ears pricked up and I took notice, and every time Terence Crawford boxed, I watched.
While many believe Canelo has the edge, Coach Anthony gave a more balanced take. He agreed that Canelo is naturally bigger and more experienced at higher weights, but warned against overlooking Terence Crawford. Anthony pointed to Crawford's ring IQ, adaptability, and ability to switch stances as weapons that could create serious problems. He explained that although Canelo has faced many elite opponents, Crawford's mix of timing, angles, and finishing, instinct makes him a real threat. According to Coach Anthony, dismissing Crawford completely would be a mistake.
Okay, but we have to break some things down into perspective here. First and foremost, Terence Crawford is a very strong 147-pounder. He's not a regular guy. He's not a regular 147-pounder. Another thing is, he's an extremely determined fighter. That guy's a winner. He's cut from the same cloth as the Andre Wards, the Floyd Mayweathers. You only get certain fighters that come across in a decade that have that kind of aura and that kind of determination to win. Now, if we want to break it down fundamentally, don't get me wrong. Canelo is a strong fighter. You know, he's proven himself. He got a great chin. He's fought some of the best fighters that you can ask for. But he's not that much bigger if you ask me. They're about the same size and height. Now, don't get me wrong. He's a little bit wider. He's a little bit, you know, thicker, right? Like, as far as his frame goes. But we got to be honest here, man. He's not that. It's not like we're fighting Benavidez here, okay? We're fighting a guy that he can still get his jab off. He can still use his footwork. He can still use his defense to go ahead and evade some of these punches. You know what I mean? So for me, Terence Crawford is going to be, if anybody, if Canelo goes in there and underestimates Crawford's strength, that could be a mistake, okay? It only takes a few pounds of pressure to hurt a guy. You don't need to be that big of a guy to hurt a guy. So, you know, at the end of the day, Crawford is a threat as well if Canelo goes in there and overestimates his weight and his size. I've seen bigger guys get knocked out by smaller guys in the gym all the time with headgear on and 16-ounce gloves. So we have to just take a few things into account when it comes to that.